What's up guys, it's your pixelated homie back with another video. I have been kind of sick, so I might be talking a little bit slower in this video, but we're gonna get through this. Today's topic is about a pretty popular character for obvious reasons. Today we're talking about the brilliant Ayla Brilliance. Very similar to Kamui Bastion, she is another physical tank, so she's kind of in a weird spot since she fulfills that same role as other physical tanks, and people are most likely still building Nanami or Kamui if they chose to do that. But she does have some interesting things going on with her, so once again, this is not a guide, this is simply an introductory video on the character. It seems to me like everyone is focused on the S-rank characters for good reason, but we gotta show some love to our A-ranks as well. Just to be clear, this is not to encourage anyone to pull for this character, but I do feel there's value in having some basic knowledge of the characters coming up. So with that in mind, let's get into the video. So first things first, I forgot to do this with my last discussion video, so before we get into her kit and what she does, let's just briefly look at the different costumes for this character. As we can see, she is on the more thicker side of things. If you like thick thighs, look no further, because this is as thick as it gets in this game here, people. So pretty interesting stuff. Nothing too spectacular in my opinion, but with that out of the way, let's see what Ayla Brilliance actually brings to the table. So as I previously stated, she is very similar to Kamui, Bastion, and Nanami. She's going to fill that physical tank role and reduce the enemy's defense. Again, this is pure defense, not elemental resistance. So physical tanks are very flexible in this game. I do want to touch up a bit on why this is significant. As I'm sure we all know by now, especially if you're free to play, we may not be able to get every character in the game. So we might have incomplete teams. What I mean by incomplete is, in order to make a team do the most damage possible, we're gonna need a DPS, a tank, and a support within the same elemental category. So for example, if you want to utilize S. Bianca to her fullest potential, you will need S. Bianca as the lightning DPS. You're gonna need a lightning tank that reduces the enemy's lightning resistance, and you will need a lightning support to boost S. Bianca's lightning damage even further. Right now, that would be Lil Lux. If you notice, I didn't name a tank because there is no lightning tank in the game as of right now. So if you wanted to use a tank with S. Bianca, then a physical tank is the perfect solution. It might not work as good as a lightning tank will work, but it will still give that damage reduction, on top of being able to slot into any type of team, especially with Tower of Babel being implemented this update, where you will need multiple teams in order to clear. Physical tanks are going to be very valuable to have. Alright, so that's all the boring stuff. Let's check her playstyle out and see what she's working with. One thing I really like about her is that she uses a scythe. I have always loved games that include scythes as weapons. The scythe is just a cool weapon in general, and it's very fun in punishing Great Raven. So first, of course, we have our red orb. strictly for damage, pretty standard stuff, right? We have our yellow orb, slightly more interesting. It is a gap closer that ends in an uppercut, so if you have those enemies that likes to hop away, this is a good move to have available. Next, we have our blue orb, which is very unique from anything we have in game right now. This is a crowd control ability. She throws her scythe in front of her, and anything it hits on its path will be pulled back towards Ayla when the scythe returns. One important thing to note is that her blue orb changes upon the activation of her core passive. I'm personally a big fan of her core passive because it just does so many things. So consuming a blue orb after any 3 orb combo will, for 1, draw in nearby enemies, for 2, gain a temporary shield, for 3, it does damage of course, for 4, it reduces damage taken by a whole 70% for the duration of the attack, and for 5, this is not stated in the description, but I feel like this is a very important thing to note. For 5, she becomes unstaggerable. This is critical because getting hit and flying back can have a big effect on your rotations, so this core passive essentially gives her more invisibility frames. They're not true invisibility frames, but you have to think she also gains a shield, so any damage she takes during this core passive is pretty much nullified. Honestly, I don't think there's a core passive that's as stacked as Ayla's in the game right now. Like, I'm not trying to hype her up right now or anything, but with Tower of Babel releasing, she's honestly a good character to have in a roster. Now, is she a character that you should pull on the second she releases? Probably not. I would advise anyone to save her black cards for S. Bianca as of right now. I do try to make content that's digestible for both free-to-play and whales alike, so for any whales that might be watching, this character may be a good pickup, especially, like I said, since Tower of Babel is releasing this patch. There aren't that many tanks to begin with, so having an extra physical tank may be valuable to have. So let's go over her gear real quick. Like pretty standard stuff for tanks, will be going with something like 4-piece Da Vinci, 2-piece Catherine. Da Vinci is a really powerful set. I would even say for endgame, you're going to want a Da Vinci user in all of your teams. So I do want to touch up on her weapon because again, it's pretty unique compared to what we have in game right now. It gives up to 6% damage to a target that has super armor, and when super armor is broken, it stuns the enemy for 2 seconds, and on top of that it gives another 15% physical damage for 7 seconds after triggering her core passive, which matches up with her shield she gains. So Ayla Brilliance is looking like she's going to be the best character when it comes to breaking super armor. I'm sure that still has to be tested, like just how fast does Ayla break super armor, but I'm sure that information will be coming out very soon if it's not already out there. But with all that being said, I honestly think that Ayla would be a very great addition to anybody's team. Is she a must-pull unit? No, I don't think so, but she does have some advantages over characters, and she does have a very fun and quite impressive kit When I first started research on this video, I didn't think that Ayla would shake up the landscape too much, but looking now, she's turning out to be a character that I definitely want to have in my team. So I'll leave y'all with that. If you are planning to pull for her, I wish y'all the best of luck. Let me know what y'all think about Ayla Brilliance. Does she look like a trash unit to you? Are you pulling for her just because she's waifu? Let me know. I always like to get the opinions of the community. But that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.